doing how greater degrees it is, and most angles have greater degrees, so we measured by the greater degrees.
Alright, thank you. Asher and Lily.
You were so close to not being up there, but then Asher repeated it to you. Respect.
I hope I don't hear people talking while someone's presenting. Just go ahead.
Okay, so the cube was like 90 degrees. The V's were all D, O, J, G, A, C, and E are all cute, and the others were like kind of mixed. So like there's some obtuse and then acute, and then some were 90 degrees. So maybe this one.
So you put acute in other?
Yeah.
So I think what I'm hearing you say is that the ones you put in acute only had acute angles. Is that what you said? And then the other one sometimes did have an acute, but also had an obtuse, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Oh.
Callie and Maxie. All right. Quiet down so we can keep moving. Ryan, you shouldn't be playing with something right now. Go ahead.
So we said right angles and acute angles. So some of these were right, like this angle were right angles, and this one and this one and this one and this one. And some acute, like this one was like about.
Mary,
Yeah?
remember to ride the bus home today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, go ahead.
It was about like 80 degrees. So it was an acute angle because it was less than 90 degrees. And this one was about 30, so it was an acute angle.
Okay, so if you put it in the acute angle one, that meant that they had all acute angles or one acute angle. How did you decide?
So like some of them had all acute angles, some of them had like two.
So they had at least one acute angle, and then the right angles had at least one right angle. Okay, thank you. Ashley and Sam, and then just one more group after that.
Hey, Sean, you have a phone call?
Go ahead, Ashley. Speak
Can
up.
you stop? Okay. So for I, we noticed that for this angle right here, we noticed that it was acute. So by just looking at it, so then we measured it up, and we got
did you decide that?
Because because we measured it.
And what? What did you get when you measured?
We forgot to write it down when we measured it.
But what were you looking for if you wanted to put a triangle in the acute
We
category?
were looking for the ones that were lower than 90 degrees.
Okay. Alright, thank you. You guys can get your seat. Last group, Alex and Karen.
The groups we did were all
I should not hear talking. Nick, I told you to go back to your seat because you were talking too much before.
two acute and one obtuse, and it has a right angles. We did all acute because these were the ones that we found that they were acute. It was the L, O, D, K, M, F, and A. For the two acute and the one obtuse, we got the C, the B, and the H, and the E. And these are the ones that we got.
Can you guys tell the class about the other groups that you had before you just had 3?
We had all obtuse and 2 obtuse and 1 right. We realized that there wasn't that much obtuses.
So were there any that could go in all obtuse or any that could go into 2 obtuse?
No.
So that's something that we should think about. Can there be more than just one obtuse angle in a triangle? Alright, thank you. You guys can go back to your seats. So what I noticed while everybody was sorting theirs was that most groups looked at what when they were sorting? Someone raising their hand. What did most groups seem to look at when they decided to sort their triangles? Marie?
They looked at the measurements to make sure that it was under 90 degrees or under 180 degrees.
And what measurements of what?
The measurements of the shape.
So
The size.
the angles actually. So if it's degrees, it's angles. So nobody measured sides, which I thought was interesting, but a lot of people seem to measure angles. So we're going to be thinking about what properties all triangles share. And we noticed, or Alex and Karen, when they sorted theirs, they noticed they didn't find any with 2 obtuse angles, and they didn't find any with 3 obtuse angles. But everyone noticed that there were some triangles that had at least 1. So just some vocabulary that we have kind of gone over already with angles. Acute angles are less than 90 degrees, so each of these triangles have at least 2 acute angles. Right angles are when it's 90 degrees or can make a square angle. Obtuse angles are greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. Equal angles are when all the angles have the same measurement, so 60, 60, and 60 for triangles. And equal side lengths means that each side is the same length. So here, somebody named Tina was sorting triangles, and this was one of her groups. So by looking at those triangles, what do all of those triangles have in common? What do they all have in common that this could be one of her groups? Talk to the person sitting next to you for a second. I'm going to pull a popsicle stick to share.
They all have 3 sides. What? They all have 3 sides.
So what do they all have in common?
Like they're gonna be a
All triangles have 3 sides,
the minimum that's a hard They're all different.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So So we know that these are all triangles, so we know they all have 3 sides and they all have 3 angles. We already discussed that. But what makes these triangles have something in common? Or maybe more than one thing in common? Alex, what's one thing you guys said?
They all have 2 or 3 acute angles.
Good, so they all have at least 2 acute angles. Alright, I'll agree with that. What else? Asher?
They're skinny,
What do you mean by that?
not fat.
So kind of going along with how Anna's group sorted theirs, they all look kind of narrow, so that means that they have some small angles. Ashley?
That they all have obtuse angles.
Good, so they all have at least one obtuse angle and at least 2 acute angles. All of those triangles have that. Is there anything else that they have in common? I think I heard something at this table. Anna, Chelsea, what was something that you guys said that they all had in common? Anna?
They're not equal triangles.
Yeah, so all the sides are different lengths. So looking at that sort, her rule was that they're triangles with an obtuse angle, at least one obtuse angle, and no equal sides. So those were the 2 things that she did use to make that group. So looking at this other group on this side, which of those triangles has the same properties as the triangles in her sort? So which one has at least one obtuse angle and no equal sides? Talk with your group and I'll pull 6. Which one of those could you put in her group?
I think
So which one
it would either be F or H.
So which one of those on the other side would go in her group?
No, H, no, not H.
One obtuse angle.
Not H.
That would be a cute.
So it would be
One obtuse angle and all different sides. Let's do your best.
They're both like which of these triangles?
So you need to make sure it has an obtuse angle and no equal sides.
Kelsey.
She can't.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So which one of these triangles can join her group having an obtuse angle and no equal sides? Annie, what did you guys say?
H.
So H, I think it
Or no,
looks like
F.
H has. Hold on, I'm gonna check it. This looks like a right angle to me.
I didn't mean H.
Yeah, that's a right angle. So it's not H because H has a right angle, not an obtuse angle. So what about a different one? Ashley?
E.
E? Why would E work?
Because if you look at the top one, you just know right away that it's more than 90 degrees.
So it has an obtuse angle. Does it have no equal sides? It doesn't have any sides that are equal?
Kind of does.
So actually it looks like the 2 sides that are right next to the obtuse angle, those are the same. So it does have the obtuse angle, but it has some equal sides, so it wouldn't fit with her rule. So what could it be then? Karen?
F.
Why?
I really said it.
Karen, why? Why would F work?
Because that F, one angle is like a little bit longer than the other angle.
So you mean the lines? So all the lines are different lengths, and it has one obtuse angle. So today, for your exit card, I'm going to give you a sheet of paper that has a triangle on it, and I want you to write whether it is name and label the properties of that triangle, and then I want you to give that triangle a name. So not like a name like how my name is Miss Berry, a name based on the properties. What kind of triangles would you say that it was? Yes, so I need to find the paper.
A triangle.
Can I be the paper passer? It's a new job.
Okay, how about number 8?
I know, it's hard. And I need a job.
So I'm going to give you a blank sheet of paper to do this one because I don't know where I put that. You can stop.
I'm like trying to even figure out how.